Hi, my name is Sarah Paysauer. Today I will be speaking about block periodization used in high school athletics. Being a high school program, I realized that your athletes may range anywhere from elite to beginner. In beginning a training plan, you will need one that is sport specific as well as one that could be individual specific. To start, we will go over what periodization in relation to training is. Periodization is a training technique that allows for growth and long-term goals. It's a fancier way of categorizing a training plan based on sport-specific and individualistic needs. As coaches, you can mold these athletes from their freshman year to senior year to better prepare them for their next athletics goal. This could be from freshman to junior year and trying to make a varsity team, or it could be from junior to senior to college years. While there are different types of periodization models, I will be focusing on block periodization. Block periodization is a training plan that aims to reach fitness goals over a calendar year. This type of periodization has been proposed as an alternative to the traditional training periodization plan. Originally, it was developed for Olympic athletes. Block periodization quickly stuck out in the athletics world. The website Human Performance Resources states that in block periodization, as a person's fitness improves, the training plan will need a progressive overload or an increase in the training volume. This statement translates that the training plan will adapt and become more frequent and intense to further improve in the person's general fitness. The main focus with block periodization is that the plan goes over the course of a few months instead of a plan that spans across a few weeks. It looks to focus on long-term goals rather than short-term goals. Block periodization divides the workout regimen into 3 to 4 levels. The different levels in block periodization involve 3 macrocycles. So in breaking down the idea of block periodization, this is the general structure of what block periodization is. The next part of these levels is called a period. There are typically 3 periods in each macrocycles. The periods are preparation, competition, and transition or recovery. So think about it as 3 different seasons. Each macrocycle period has 3 different mesocycles or blocks, which is how block periodization got its name. These blocks signify different phases of training. The first block is called the accumulation block. This block typically focuses on one part of physical fitness, like speed or muscular endurance. This block can last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks depending on what the person is trying to improve on. Like if it was cardiovascular strength or muscular strength, this is that block. This is where they're going to start working on those. This block is marked by its high volume and moderate intensity level. The second block is called the transmutation block. During this block, the athlete reduces their training load for up to 4 weeks in order to maximize the earnings from the previous phases. This could also be seen as a recovery phase. The third phase in block periodization is the realization phase. This encompasses the last 2 weeks and it includes lowering the training load by reducing capacity, all while maintaining workout frequency and intensity as the athlete approaches their goal. This can also be referred to as a recovery stage. Moving past the general idea of block periodization, let's move to why it's important and how you guys can use it in your high school athletics programs. The main goal of this version of periodization is to maximize the athlete's peak performance time. This periodization model is used in a variety of sports that require the ability to peak multiple times in their season. By peak, I'm referring to big games in general, so it could be used throughout your season. It can add structure to a workout program and can work on all areas of fitness across a longer time frame. Some of the strengths of block periodization. So the first strength of block periodization is that it can be beneficial for long-term results. Block periodization focuses on the long-term goals and sustainability of peak athleticism. Block periodization has been used over other periodization models because of its longer peak levels in athletics and is more functioning across the athletic spectrum. The key to maximizing the effects of block periodization is to set long-term goals and pursue them through the necessary training plan. In the research article, throughout a block periodized training cycle in weightlifters, it studies kinetic and morphological adaptations that occur during the different phases of block periodization in weightlifters. Now, I understand that not many sports in high school athletics are, experienced weightlifters, but this study found that the plasticity of force development, in addition to greater relevance to most athletic tasks, makes this model better during the peak phase. Increased muscle size can be expected using a single periodized training cycle than in traditional. This supports the idea that block periodization, when used long-term, is the most beneficial training model. Another strength to block periodization is that the different phases involved allow for sport-specific plans tailored to athletes. In the research article, the effect of block and traditional periodized training models on jump and sprint performance in collegiate basketball players, it found that block periodization showed significantly higher jump performance compared to traditional periodization. This supports that it has sport specificity that is needed for a training plan. Due to the specificity that block periodization offers, it makes it the perfect plan for sports that are more individualistic in nature, like track and field or judo competitions. Another strength to block periodization is that it can be beneficial to athletes looking to manage their fatigue. Due to the long-term aspect of block periodization, it can be tailored to manage fatigue, which I know can be somewhat of a hard thing to teach to high school athletes who are just now starting a sport and maybe have never done a workout plan. In the research article, Resting Hormone Alterations and Injuries, Block versus Daily Undulating Periodization, it examines how DUP and block periodization can show differing results using the same group of track and field athletes. This study found that block periodization is more influential to athletes looking to manage fatigue. The only possible weakness of block periodization is that it's not meant for short-term goals. So now that we have a basic understanding of how this model works, let's move on to making a plan for your athletes. As a coach, you have a certain vision for how you want your team to run, and it's up to you to make it run that way, regardless of if you have previous experience with a weight room or you have collegiate experience. It's up to you to make your team run the most effective and efficient way so that you can win. In tailoring a block periodization training plan, you first want to lay out what your athletes need to improve on, like improving their vertical or improving their strength. Just an overall idea of what you know as a coach that they need to improve upon. Another part of coaching is factoring in the individual needs of an athlete. Now, by saying that, it can mean two different things, and I mean for it to mean two different things. Firstly, it means as an athlete what you know they need, like the first thing I stated. The second meaning is what the individual athlete wants to improve on. Allowing the athlete to have a say in this process can be beneficial and can improve their outlook on a training plan, because I know some high school athletes may not want to work out, they may not want to run, but if they know they're improving themselves in a certain way, that might help them want to improve. So once you've decided their goal, start laying out a fitness plan. The first training block in block periodization should focus on an increased intensity and volume, your starting year in this accumulation block, and there needs to be an overall goal. There needs to be a high volume and moderate intensity level. This block can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. You're going to plan that depending on how much time you have. In the second block, the transmutation block, the athlete reduces their training load for up to 4 weeks in order to maximize the earnings from their first training phase. The third phase, the realization phase, encompasses the last 2 weeks, and it includes lowering the training load by reducing capacity. all while maintaining the workout frequency and intensity as the athlete approaches their goal. In using and maximizing the effects of block periodization, you as coaches should design these plans tailored to the strengths of block periodization. By this statement, I mean that a coach should design this plan according to the season that the athlete is in, as well as consider the athlete specificity needed for an individual. Being successful through block periodization is possible and can be a benefit for all youth athletes.